What's up, Caffeinated crew? On this episode, we're celebrating our 2-year anniversary. Have some things that I wanted to look back on, some highlights, some of my favorite coffees, but also some things that we wanted to announce and talk a little bit more about. Maybe you've seen on Instagram some announcements recently. So just wanted to dive into that. Just wanted to first off say thank you for everybody who listens, everybody who's joined this community. It's really, really encouraging to know that people are enjoying the podcast and enjoying the content that we're putting out. So thank you so much for listening. I want to welcome my lovely wife, Nancy. What's up?
Hello.
I love doing these with you.
I hate it.
Everybody loves the Nancy stuff.
Yeah, I absolutely hate this. That's why I only help from the background. So
yeah, you say that, but then when I go to shows, everybody's like, "Where's Nancy?"
Yeah, it's the worst.
They love Nancy.
Okay,
you should just be my co-host.
No.
Wouldn't you love that?
I would hate it so much. Anyways,
we're drinking some coffee. We have some decaf because it's at nighttime. I received this coffee from a coffee shop.
Well, here's a short story. We went to get a coffee.
Yeah.
And then the coffee barista was very, very nice. And she had an extra coffee bag. So she handed you this coffee.
Randomly,
yeah, which is really sweet.
Yes.
And again, it's a decaf and it's 9:00. So we definitely need decaf because we're old and we'll stay up too late and then won't get up.
It's a decaf from Escarpment Coffee from Milton, Ontario. It's Costa Rican, single origin, Swiss water processed. It says medium roast, but I think that's kind of a lie. Full body, nice rich taste. It's a little bit fruity. It's got like a nice traditional nutty, fruity taste.
Yeah.
You like it?
I mean, I don't mind it. Again, a decaf is very difficult to get it to taste.
Yep.
And I'm not to switch this over to something else, but it's basically like having a non-alcoholic beer. It's a non-alcoholic beer can only be okay. I have never had, I mean, come on though, it's true. I have never ever had a non-alcoholic beer that I've been like, God damn, this is great.
I know.
I'm serious.
That analogy is great though.
But it's true. I don't mind it because this is the thing. Okay, when I was like, I had like anyways, I was like in medicine. I couldn't drink anything, and I love drinking beer, and I had to drink non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
And I try my best.
It was the worst 2 weeks.
It was. And as soon as I had a real beer, I was like, yeah, like it's not. There's nothing else like this. And it's the same as coffee. Like
it's like skim milk. It's water lying to be milk.
Yeah. And again, it's the same thing. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that for a decaf coffee, it's okay.
It's got a traditional taste. I would say that. I hate the term full body, but it is what it is. So Escarpment, if you live in Milton, if Escarpment's your favorite coffee shop, I'm sure that they have other coffees that are very good. It's not just a decaf coffee roaster, obviously.
Right.
So I would definitely be interested in trying some of their other things.
Yeah. And I guess, this could also kind of bring us into some great coffees that we've had this year.
Yeah.
Really just thinking about it, there's only one, and I'm sure there's been more, but there's one just in my head right now that definitely stood out to me, and it was the Balam.
Or Balam.
Anyways,
it's a Spanish word.
It's a newer one here in Montreal, and I don't know, there was something about that coffee. Every time I made it here at the house, I was scared of it going away. You know what I mean?
Like using it?
Yeah, the more I used it, the more I was sad. So it was a great coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. And I've had it a few other times, and it's still just as good.
Yep.
So that's my coffee of the year, I would say, the podcast year.
That one's on my list, a different one of their coffees because that was their first pass. But they have a second one that I had. It's their competition series. So it was like a red honey, double fermented coffee, crazy, like black tea, fruity, really, really good coffee.
That kind of brings me, do you remember what coffee that was that I'm talking about?
All their coffees are Guatemala.
I thought wasn't it a geisha?
The one that... Yes.
Yeah, I think it was a geisha.
Because the second one was also a geisha.
Ah, okay.
But all their coffees are Guatemalan on their family farm.
Okay.
So the owner of Balam, he has Cafe Origin. He also has a family farm in Guatemala that his grandfather started.
Oh, okay.
So all their coffees are 100% traceable.
That's really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So
what's your number? Sorry.
I'd love to have him on at some point to talk about it. But
yeah, that's a good one.
That's my number 2. So I'll go out of order. That was my number 2 favorite. Number 3 would be it was Yamabiko out of Sutton. They have the cool like Japanese designs, and the name is Japanese as well. The husband is Australian, and he does more of like a Australian style of roasting, and the wife is from Japan and does some cool stuff. So their Costa Rica yellow honey coffee, really, really great. Very memorable. And then my number 1, my favorite, was from our UK trip. We got to go to Watch House over near that area where the Broad Street Market is. And it's their natural Colombian Jefferson Olaya. It's just like a lot of really good like white grape, very delicate. And that was just an extremely memorable coffee because being at the shop was like a really great experience, getting to talk with the guy there and seeing the space. The space is beautiful, but then also being able to have that same experience at home with their coffee was great.
Yeah, and that's like the only thing I remember, which again, maybe that's going off of your word, like memorable. It was to me. I just don't remember the taste, to be honest. I don't, but I remember the smell. And I remember like sitting at Watch House because you were talking to the guy for like a long time. And I just remember the smell was delicious. And then when we got to the house and you opened the coffee, I instantly, that smell was just very specific to that shop.
Right.
Yeah, it was memorable. I agree.
Yeah. I regret not buying one of they had drippers too. Like they had branded, I believe they were like Clever drippers or something. And I kind of regret not getting one because I feel like that's like a piece that you would keep for a very long time. And I could only drink that coffee until it was gone.
Right.
So I might have to go back one day and get one. Yeah. Or ship it here, or maybe one of my English friends. Anyway.
Well, there's a lot of great coffees.
There
everywhere. And you remember it. So yes. That's all that matters. So.
That's really what makes the coffee, like you're saying, the memorable experience.
Exactly, yeah.
So.
Well, talking about memorable, though, for the year, not to keep this like super long. So what's like one thing out of the podcast year that was very memorable to you? Like to me, I could tell you, to me it was the Montreal Madhouse.
Yeah. That was an insane weekend, though. It
was a very long weekend. And those cold brews, the ones that we did with Balance, definitely kept me through that shit. And then I had to go take a nap because it was too much.
I had people ask if there was cocaine in them.
No. Well, there's not. I hope.
There's not. No, there's not.
Okay, there's not. I hope. I'm joking. No, there's not.
I still get approached about it. They're like, do you have any more of that cold brew? I'm like, no, but you can just go to Balance and get it.
It was delicious. We kept some for ourselves because it really was that good. Mm-hmm. Anyways, the Madhouse though was amazing. It was not what I expected. It was way better than I expected. And for all of like Montreal hardcore to show up and sell it out was also really cool. It also, I feel like it kind of grew the scene. Like I feel like there's been a lot more kids not kids, but people that came out of there, and a lot more new bands like. Well, obviously, Freezer Burn, right? Cross Check. I can't even there's a lot of them so that were in that bill too that were like their first show or one of their first show. Like y'all, like Bruiserweight, it was y'all's second show.
Will to Chain Speak, Block. It was their second show. Chain Block, it was their second show.
Anyways, a lot of great bands.
Cloned Apparition, it was like their third or fourth show.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, that was their EP release.
I did not know that.
Yes, The Coming of Spring.
Right.
Their episode coming soon.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yes. So.
Well, that was my highlight of the year. I just thought that was a great weekend, and I'm looking forward for next year. Can't wait to see what they're gonna do because those guys they did a great job, and I'm very happy to see how it turned out.
Max, Tony, Bean, you guys are fucking phenomenal. All of their bands are really, really great. And the Montreal Hardcore Collective is putting on some amazing shows. We just played one yesterday that was from them and Lifers. So they're doing a lot of really, really cool things for Montreal. Montreal on top, I'm telling you.
It's true.
It's sick. Yeah, so the Madhouse, can't wait to see how that goes next year. I'm keeping my artist lanyard for the rest of my life because...
Well, it's also because it's cool, though.
It's the coolest.
It is.
It's like holographic, like a Pokemon card.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's sick.
What was your highlight?
I mean, Madhouse is definitely there. I would say like the highlight of the year has been like being in a hardcore band after a very long time.
Yeah, and also with great people. Like
That's what it. Yeah, it's like because everybody else is in another band. I really wasn't in like a hardcore band or anything like that, but I've been doing the podcast and people knew me from that, and so I was able to make those connections to be in a really awesome band with some great dudes, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
Yeah, they're super awesome, and a lot of those. I mean, like Scott, you also had on the podcast from Offside. I'm trying to think of who else you've
Ozzy
had.
John we had on from Shutaway, and that's how I met John.
Right. But do you have a highlight within the podcast too, though?
Yes.
What is it?
It's so hard because I have like so many fucking guests.
Oh, you want to go by guests?
No,
Okay.
I don't. I just want to I would say Madhouse is definitely up there. Like that was crazy.
I could say something, and I don't mean to put like words in your mouth, but one thing I think that changed a lot this second year compared to the first year is that we started focusing a lot more in like local bands. Because the first year I felt like we were trying to be like, oh, let's go and find all these bands like outside of here, like the States or whatever in Europe. And this second year, I mean, we started even with like very local bands and just started realizing that there's a lot of really good bands. It's not just because, oh, they're here and they're our friends. There are actually really good bands in Toronto and Montreal, like in Quebec City. So
Apes, that their
I
recent
love
EP is insanely good, and they're coming out with new shit soon. So yeah, them bands from like Spirit of Vengeance, Rust, Die Alone, Gavel. I have an episode with Kyle coming out like this week. There's so many just amazing Canadian, like in this area alone in Canada, it's insanely good bands. So yeah, I would agree with you. Focusing on the local scene has been like really, really great, and the response from that is usually very good because you like actively see it improving and doing good things for people like in your community. So yeah, that's cool. But that goes in with Madhouse as well because
that's true.
We put so much work and emphasis into doing a great job.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, support your local scene is all that to say, because that's your community, that's your home.
Yeah, and it's also great, like support your friends too, like in their bands and everything they do. Because
don't be jealous of their success.
Exactly.
That's stupid.
It is really dumb. It really is, because it's fun. It is really fun when you see your friends doing what they want to do, and then they support you, and then when you're doing something cool, they're just excited for you. Right. Like it should be like that.
The rising tide raises all ships.
It's exactly. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the only way that your scene, wherever you are, is going to grow is if you honestly like support each other and push each other. Like,
yeah,
this may sound weird, but like if you have a friend and you're like, man, their band is really fucking good, instead of trying to pull them down, push them. Because if you keep pushing them, then that's what's going to bring attention to your scene too. And then you can get more and more and more and more bands to show up in that area. So yeah, don't be jealous. Help your friends, support your friends, and support the scene wherever it is that you are.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And actually talking about that, kind of moving forward, we do have an announcement for this year.
Hold your ground.
Hold your ground.
Hold your ground. It's going to be the 22nd, 23rd of September, Mississauga, Ontario. It's being put on by some lovely people, one of which we've had on the podcast, Kyle from Cohesion. It's going to have some awesome bands. Harm's Way, End It, No Warning, just to name a few. And
a few awesome local bands too, if you haven't seen them.
Prowl.
Clone Operation's going to be there.
Spirit of Vengeance.
Bruiserweight is going to be there.
We're playing the pre-show.
Well, the pre-show.
The pre-show.
Go to the pre-show too.
You should. The pre-show is going to sell out too. You need to get tickets. Like it will sell out. They just opened up the single days in general admission. You need to get them.
You should go. Go to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just stay the whole time there.
Just do the whole thing. So we'll be there with a booth.
Yeah.
We're sponsoring, so we'll be there with some merch, some goodies. We're doing a collaboration with Black Sheep Coffee Roasters out of the Niagara area. So we'll be doing a collab with a brand new roaster that's not balanced.
Yeah, and he's also an awesome person and
Yes.
very excited. Like as soon as we reached out, he was like, "Hell yeah,
Yeah,
like, let's do
so
this." So I'm
Lucas-
excited to see how that. Yeah, Lucas is awesome.
He's a great guy. So yeah, we'll be there with some great cold brew. Make sure to keep yourself hydrated. First of all, be hydrated. Second of all, be caffeinated, because that's the only way you're gonna get the maximum spin kicks.
That's important.
It's the most important thing. What is hold your ground without spin kicks?
Here's how it goes. It goes no coffee, 1 spin kick, right?
That's the
One
not
coffee,
even.
5 spin kicks. Is that the ratio of coffee to spin
I
kicks?
think it's 5 spin kicks per coffee.
All right, so you need a few coffees then to
If
have a
you
good night.
do space them out, but do 3 coffees, you'll get a maximum output of 15 spin kicks.
So what if you shotgun a coffee?
7.
Oh, that's it. You just get a kick. You don't get anything else.
You get 2 extra.
You don't
kicks.
get more superpowers out of this.
You get 2 extra kicks.
All right, fine.
7 spin kicks. Shotgun 3 cold brews. 21 spin kicks.
Holy shit!
It's like
All
a
right.
salute. 21 spin kick salute.
Like just continuing it. Like
Yeah,
just at
it's
once. It
literally
just goes in
just
circles.
back to
You're gonna
back.
be in not a push pit for sure. For sure. Don't do this, please.
If you do want to shotgun a cold brew though, like that's fine. You'll be okay. I want to see all my straight edge friends shotgunning cold brews.
Anyway, so
if you
we will
don't,
be
you're
there.
weak.
We will have coffee
We will.
and
Merch.
We'll have
And-
new merch. Yeah, we've got some cool designs
We'll
that
do some
we're working with
exclusives.
too. Exactly. Yeah. So we probably won't have. And we still have some merch online, by the way, in case anybody else is looking to buy some stuff. But we're gonna have some exclusive merch at Hold Your Ground that we won't put out unless we have stuff left over. So yeah, make sure you show up. Make sure you go up, talk to us, and spin kick Grayson on the face.
Don't miss out, for real. Like the tickets are gonna go. You gotta get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically all we needed to say about that for now. Just keep looking for the Instagram. We're always putting up stuff if announcements come up. But last order of business is thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for suggestions, for any kind of engagement or feedback. I appreciate people who come up at shows or send messages or leave comments. Res Dog, I see you. It's really encouraging to know that people are listening, are getting something out of this, are learning new things, maybe about coffee or even about hardcore. That's really all I wanted to do when we started the podcast and I decided to start talking to people through Zoom. So thank you for being a part of this community, and hopefully we get to see it grow. Right now it's basically word of mouth. So if you think one of your friends would be into this, tell them about it. If they like podcasts, tell them. So we do this every Thursday.
Yeah, and it's been fun. Like I'm still having fun, and that's how it's supposed to be. Like
Yeah.
even that conversation you had with Matt McGackey just kind of re-enlightened us in what we've been doing, and yeah, I enjoy it. I have fun. I'm excited for the next year and to see what else comes up.
Mm-hmm.
We have some ideas that we are trying to figure out how we might do it.
Yeah.
Some new things that we might do for the podcast. Trying to get maybe like a little bit more coffee knowledge out there.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly.
Also, we're gonna start uploading to YouTube.
Yes, we are. Because, yeah, some people have told us, which, by the way, I mean, obviously, if you're listening to this, you know this. But if you want to listen to a podcast in Spotify, you don't have to pay for it.
Same with Apple.
Exactly. But some people don't know this. And a lot of people listen to podcasts on YouTube because of that.
Right. So if you're actually pretty much any platform, even Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Apple, you do not have to have any kind of license. You can literally just listen to the podcast for free.
Yeah. So we'll put it on YouTube.
But yeah, on YouTube, people like that. So
Exactly. I don't think we'll be doing a full video format just because we have work and we've got a lot of other shit to do. And
I'm not a video editor.
Exactly. Having to edit video and audio and a bunch of other shit. Like it's
a lot.
It's too much. And this is supposed to be fun. And that's just going to get a little overwhelming. So we'll stick to just audio format for now, but at least allow more people to be able to listen to the podcast. But yeah, like I said, there's other things we're thinking of that we're trying to make this even more intriguing. So yeah, just keep an eye out.
Yeah. That's all we have for this week. Again, just thanks for a great year. That's 2 in the books. Cheers to another awesome year. Hopefully we have some guests coming up that are going to be really great. So keep an eye out. And if there's people that you think we should have on the podcast that are doing cool things that you think maybe we're not aware of, or that, you know, maybe you have a connection to or something, like, please send us a message. Like, we've had a few people on because of suggestions. So, you know, this is a community. You guys have just as big a voice as I do. So, you know, let's work together.
Yeah.
That's all we have. Thanks so much for listening. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.